What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. We've got bus stuff for sale. I've got 3 I want to show off. Don't forget that if you have something you want to submit for lots bus stuff for sale, the picture submission form, or any one of my videos in general, you can throw that in the video request form found in the description of any one of my videos. So the first one we're taking a look at is a 1969 GMC bus listed for $8,000 in Centralia, Washington. The description says 1969 GMC 35-foot bus that's been converted to a camper, runs and drives well but could benefit from some maintenance and interior work. Has a gas 478 V6, a 5-speed manual with 2-speed rear end, air brakes, and solar panels on the roof. So here's a look at the bus. This is a 1969 Carpenter Corsair. It looks like it's been converted into a skoolie for quite a while and overall looks to be in really good condition. Just from initially looking at it. We've got the arrow turn signals up front, that's always nice to see. The door has been replaced, we have the sedan style door on there now, and a giant air horn right up top. Here's a look at the side of the bus. We can see most of the windows have been covered up, but the ones that aren't are transit style windows, so that's kind of odd, and I wonder if those are original on there. And you can see right up top that there's an AC unit on there. Here's a look at the back of the bus. There's not too much going on here. And here's the driver's area of the bus. You can see the stick shift right next to the seat, and on there is the little lever that you would use to get access to additional gears with that 2-speed rear axle, and then the control panel over on the right. Here's a look coming into the bus, and here's a couple different shots of the interior. Nothing too crazy in terms of skoolies. Pretty simple if you ask me. The bus looked to be in pretty good condition overall. It runs and drives apparently, so that's great. Although it is maybe a little suspicious that we couldn't really get a clear picture of the passenger side of the bus, so I'm curious to know if there's anything going on there. It also looks like it was a skoolie before skoolies really kind of blew up within the last 10 years. I mean, that could just be me, but that's what it looks like. Cool bus nonetheless, just maybe a little bit high on the price there. Next up, we are moving to Grand Junction, Colorado, where we are taking a look at a 1994 GMC Vandura 3500 that sold for $8,000. The description says it's a 1994 GMC 3500 with a 350 engine and only 61,000 miles. It comes with a lift and has mainly been used as a mobile shop. Here's the bus. This is a Thomas Minotour, and this has the HD chassis on there. I've always liked the HD chassis so much better than the standard GM chassis for this time. I think it just fits so much better as a bus. So we've got the extra turn signals up front. I love that. And we've also got a wheelchair lift all the way in the front of the bus. Here's a look at the back of the bus. Kind of an odd thing to note here is that we've got the reverse lights in between the brake lights and the turn signals. And then in addition to that, we also have the additional smaller reverse lights. It's kind of a weird thing. I see it every now and then, but still just odd every time I see it. Here's a look at the dash of the bus, and you can see that there's just under 61,000 miles on there. The interior has been completely gutted out, and that includes the wheelchair lift in there. And if you take a look at the floor, we can see that this bus appears to have only been used for wheelchair students. There are strap downs through the entirety of the bus, and there's just no good place for an actual school bus seat. There is a pretty big problem with the bus. It appears we have a giant hole in the roof. Maybe this person was removing the speakers. It looks like that's what they did with the other ones, and something went wrong. But you can see the sun shining through right next to that right wheel well, so obviously that's going to have to be fixed. And just a quick look at the lift that was mounted in the bus. So like I said, I really like that HD GM chassis on buses. It just worked a lot better for me. $8,000 is a little high because we had that giant hole in the roof, and we don't know if it runs and drives. Overall, aside from the giant hole in the roof, it looked to be in pretty good condition overall, but that could potentially be a great start for someone's schooling. And last but not least, we're moving to Portland, Oregon, taking a look at a 1989 Crown Transit 36 school bus for $10,000. The description said it was purchased with the intention of continuing to provide transportation and limo services, but the pandemic caused them to put it into storage. The seats have been rotated and there's an upgraded sound system, ambient lighting, and a TV for karaoke, amongst a few other unique changes, and it has an 8.3 Cummins in it with 225,000 miles on it. So take a look at this bus. This is really unique. This is a Crown Supercoach II that was not originally in service in California. And the main reason we can tell that is because of the 8-way warning lights. This bus has certainly seen better days. It's not in the worst condition I've ever seen a Super 2 in. It's definitely not in the best condition I've ever seen one in. It looks like it's going to need a little bit of work. Here's a look at the front of the bus where you can see the warning lights a little bit better. And a look at the back of the bus. Again, this might need a little bit of work. But most of it just appears to be from sitting for a little while. Take a look directly beneath the Crown logo on the back. We can see the giant sticker that would say something along the lines of unlawful to pass when red lights flash. We've also got the extra brake lights on the back. And if you take a look all the way up front, you can kind of make it out, but there is a front stop sign on there. That's not something you see too often on any sort of Crown, but it's on this one. And here's a look down the passenger side of the bus. Here's a couple different shots of the interior seating. Obviously, this was turned into some sort of party bus. We can also see that small little TV back there that would be used for the karaoke, and who doesn't want to sing karaoke in a school bus? Here's a look at the driver's area of the bus. Over on the left, we have some sort of modified control panel. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But otherwise, pretty standard looking. Here's a look at that modified control panel. It's very clearly some sort of audio board that would be used for karaoke, as it's clearly labeled on there. But what's interesting about this is that they didn't remove all the other switches. They just made it to where you can flip that up. So I think that that's really clever on their part, and you can see the hinges on how they did that. Another interesting thing about this bus is that we have a push-button transmission. Again, it's not a very common option that you saw in many Supercoaches, but this one has it and makes it just a little bit more unique. Here's a look at the dash of the bus. There's a couple different shots of the engine right there. And to look at the build plate, we can see that this bus was built in December of 1989. 10,000 bucks is questionable because people who buy Crown Supercoaches are willing to shell out a lot of money for Crown Supercoaches. This one says it runs and drives, although it has been sitting for a little while, so I'd be curious to know how well it runs and drives. And while the interior has been modified, it's not like it had been converted into a skoolie and just completely changed. So it wouldn't be completely absurd for a bus enthusiast to rescue this and turn it back into a school bus. And there you have it. Those are the three that I wanted to show off. And as always, let me know in the comments below if you had the time, money, resources, whatever you would need to get one of the buses working or do whatever you wanted with it. Which one would it be? For me, it would have to be the Super 2. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Super 2s are absolutely amazing buses. One of the best riding bus I have ever been on. It was truly a step above everything else. And an oddity like this one, with it having the push-button transmission, with it being a Washington bus, so the front stop's on the 8 warning lights on there. And then being mostly original, obviously there were some changes on there. That makes this one a pretty desirable bus. But anyways, like I said, throw your answer in the comments below. And don't forget that if you have something you want to submit for Bus Stuff for Sale, lots, the picture submission form, or any one of my videos in general, you can throw that in the video request form found in the description of any one of my videos. And with that, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe right down here. It's a magical white button that says you're now subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it down, I care where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or we're never going to see any other Washington Crown Supercoach 2s ever again. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom, show it to your dad, show it to a guy in a random street. I don't care, don't let anything happen to you. So yeah guys, that's going to do it for this video. And thanks for watching.